What's up, guys? It's Taylor and I am back with another video. You already know the deal if you read the title. Today I'm recapping episode 9 of the challenge Total Madness on MTV. It was a pretty good episode. You know, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, things are really starting to heat up this season and things are moving pretty fast. You know, compared to previous seasons, I feel like they kind of dragged on by this point. But Total Madness is pretty much moving at a pretty good pace and I'm enjoying every bit of it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the episode starts off with everybody coming back from elimination. If you remember, last week was a double elimination for the guys. Fessy versus Jordan and Nelson versus Bear. Fessy and Nelson won their rounds and everything like that, and they got their red skulls. So everybody's coming back, and first off we have a scene with Nelson, Fessy, and Corey. They're all sitting around in the kitchen talking and everything like that, and you know, they're hyping Fessy up. You know, he got his win, he got his red skull. You know, Corey's basically saying, you know, he's ready to get his red skull, he's ready to go in. It's not a lot of time left, and he's just ready to go in and get the skull. We also see Josh talking to Kayla and some of the other girls, telling them about the whole Swaggy situation. If you remember at the elimination last week, Josh, I guess, found out that, well, he thinks he found out that Swaggy and Wes are working together. And that's because Swaggy told Josh that it wasn't a blindside that Bear was going in. Wes was walking around all day saying that he was going to throw Bear in. He was going to vote for Bear. And so Josh took this as, oh, how does Swaggy know that? He must be working. Him and Bailey must be working with Wes. You know, I got to rally the votes against them. So he's in that whole mindset. I just don't understand. Like, Josh is not in a position to rally anything. I mean, he's not that type of player. Like, he's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? And even if Swaggy and Bailey are working with Wes, which they are, but, you know, even if they are, he doesn't know that. So even if they are, what does that have to do with you? That doesn't mean that there can't be a Big Brother alliance. That doesn't mean that I can't have your back and have his back. He is still stuck on this whole fake alliance, not fake alliance, this whole fake rivalry that he's created in his own head with Wes. But that's crazy. But we'll talk more about that, you know, later on. Also, we see basically, you know, in the beginning, we see everybody kind of working out. Everybody's doing their thing, and a lot of people are saying that they want their red skull. You know, they don't necessarily know how much time is left to get them, and everybody's gonna start having to step up. You know, people are gonna have to go home, so everybody wants their red skull, and that's basically what it is. We also see Dee and Rogan sitting around talking. So they're talking about, you know, what the next step is, and Dee basically brings up Jenny's name. And it's kind of weird because, you know, Rogan is Dee's #1 guy and Jenny is Dee's #1 girl, but Dee is suggesting to Rogan that, you know, maybe, you know, this week, since it's going to be a girls' week, they should throw in Jenny. She's a strong competitor and they don't want to face her in a final. And, you know, I get that mentality, but also you are just going to throw away your #1 like that. And not only that, you're talking to your #1 guy, talking about throwing away your #1 girl, just throwing her in like because you don't want to face her. Like, and Rogan is visibly, you know, suspicious, and, you know, you can see it in his face, and he has every reason to be like, are you crazy? Like, how do I know you're not going to do the same thing to me? Like, this is weird, you know? So we see that, and that was definitely, we're gonna see how that plays out later on in the episode, obviously, but Rogan has every right to be suspicious in that moment. Next, the next scene, we have we see everybody coming down for the challenge. Everybody's in front of TJ. The first order of business is basically that Big T, because of what happened last episode, she has to go home. She's not medically able to continue in the competition. She cut her foot, and she can, she was on crutches. She couldn't even walk. So obviously nobody can compete like that. And it sucks to see Big T go because, you know, she's great, she's funny, she's entertaining. She wasn't the best competitor, obviously, but she's very funny, she's very entertaining, and, you know, it really sucks to see Big T go. I know she really wanted to prove herself this season, but hopefully we'll see her again in the future, and that was that. But getting down to business, the name of this week's challenge was Tunnel Rats. Now this will be played in teams of 4 and 5, so everybody's going to be in teams 4 or 5, and one by one they're all going to be dropped down into a tunnel, and in this tunnel are puzzle pieces. So every person on the team has to collect their puzzle piece. They have to swim back, like, out of where they were, and come out of the tunnel, and then outside they're going to put together a puzzle. This is a timed event, so whoever gets done with their puzzle the fastest, they win. So the first team is Fessy, Nelson, Casey, and Jenny. And team 2 is Bananas Cow, Jenna Rogan, and Melissa. So team 1 and team 2, they're up first. They're going against each other. So basically, to start things off, so everybody gets dropped down. Obviously the water's super cold, so that affects everybody. Nelson on team 1, he seems to be the weakest link. As we know in the past, Nelson is not the greatest swimmer to, you know, be on this show. He's admitted that, but he did say that he's been taking swimming lessons, so that's good. You know, at least he's trying, but obviously this is a problem for him, so he's behind. So team 1's in the lead with getting their puzzle pieces and everything like that. But team 2, because of Nelson, you know, kind of being slow and everything like that, they end up catching up to team 1. They all are running out the tunnel at the same time, and they all go and they're putting the puzzle together and everything like that. Both teams are struggling a little bit, but ultimately team 2, which is Banana's team, they end up taking it this first go round. Next, we have team 3 and team 4. Team 3 is Wes, Bailey, D, Nani, and Corey. And team 4 is Josh, Swaggy C, Maddie, Kayla, and Anissa. So basically, TJ blows the horn, everybody drops down and everything like that. Right away, team 4, which is the team that Swaggy's on, he gets dropped into the water, and it's a problem for him. I don't know if he just can't figure it out. He can't get going, you know. I mean, I think he can swim. I don't know. I don't think it was that he couldn't swim. I don't know what happened. Maybe the water was too cold for him. I don't know. But obviously the medic had to come get him, and he gets DQ'd. So his team basically has to pick up his slack, because every member has to get a puzzle piece to solve the puzzle. And so because Swaggy got DQ'd, Josh had to go back and get his puzzle piece, and they fell behind. And team 3 kind of was in the lead there. Well, no, team 3 was really in the lead. So it took team 4 a long time to actually get out the tunnel and get to their puzzle. When they actually get out there though, both teams are struggling a little bit, but I mean, obviously team 4 was struggling the most. They couldn't get it together. They were arguing, and team 3, they actually win that round. And yeah, I think team 4 actually timed out. So they didn't even finish the puzzle. They just timed out because they took so long. They couldn't even get it figured out. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Josh is yelling and, you know, everything like that. And this is another thing. And I just don't, because Nelson did the same thing to Anissa a couple episodes ago. I do not understand why guys on a girl's day are upset. I mean, unless something like genuinely happened. I understand being upset because you're a competitor and you want to win. But there's no need to go off on the girls or go off on anybody for that matter. It's not a guy's day. It doesn't matter if we lost. You're not going into elimination. Like, you're fine this week. Like, I said the same thing with Nelson, and I'll say the same thing with Josh. Like, calm down. Like, it's really not that serious. You got, I mean, the team DQ, but it's not a guy's day. If anything, the girls on the team should be worried. Kayla, Anissa, all of them should be worried, not you. So I thought that kind of sucked that he was yelling at them like that. But like I said, I understand having a competitive spirit. Absolutely, that's fine. But there's no need to yell, okay? You make people feel bad because you lost. We're on a team. Don't do that, you know. But anyways, that was that. So after all that, everybody's done with the challenge and everything like that. They're all back in front of TJ. TJ says that team 3 actually won today's challenge in general. Team 3, once again, is Wes, Bailey, D, Corey, and Nani. So they are the tribunal. And TJ also says that this is a girls' double elimination day. So the tribunal will interrogate 4 girls, and the house will nominate 2 girls to go into elimination. So after all that, next we have everybody. They're coming back from, you know, today's challenge and everything like that. A lot of girls are saying that they aren't really ready to go in. You know, I know Melissa says she's not really ready to go in and stuff like that. We see Jenna trying to FaceTime Zach again, but he doesn't pick up. And, you know, yeah. So, at this point, I don't really know if Jenna's head's in it, you know, but she says that it has nothing to do with her wanting to go home and stuff like that. As a viewer, I don't believe that. The people in the house didn't believe that. So, you know, it is what it is, but you can tell that the whole situation with her and Zach is affecting her. Next, we have the house meeting. The house meeting this week is actually pretty short because starting off, Casey, you know, she says that she's ready to go in and get her red skull. She nominates herself. The house agrees. After that, Anissa also says that she wants to nominate herself and go in and get her red skull. So she, you know, goes up to the board. She puts her name on the board, and her and Casey are going to be the two going into elimination this week. Next, we see Rogan and Jenny. They're actually sitting around talking, and you know, obviously the thing that Dee said to Rogan earlier comes up. So basically, you know, Rogan tells Jenny what Dee said, and Jenny is obviously, you know, I don't know, I would say hurt, but you know, obviously I'm supposed to be your number one. So Jenny was, you know, feeling a certain type of way about that, and obviously she wasn't feeling it. But Rogan, you know, he said that he was trying to plant seeds, and honestly that's a smart thing to do. I know a lot of people were coming at Rogan last season because he kind of turned on Dee last season. I mean, they both ended up winning and stuff like that, which, you know, was cool. But you know, this season he's justified. I mean, I can't trust you if you're telling me you're number one guy. You're telling me to my face that you're number one girl. You're thinking about just throwing her in because you're not sure you can beat her in a final. Like, what are you gonna do to me? How can I trust you? So I definitely get that. And I don't see a problem with Rogan telling Jenny. Hell, I would have told her too. So it is what it is. Next, we basically see everyone, they're out at the club again. Everybody's getting ready to, you know, have some fun and everything like that. We see Jenna and Bananas, they're talking. Bananas is basically telling Jenna, you know, you have a red skull, you're qualified to go to the final, you're being ridiculous, you know, a lot of girls will kill to be in your position. And Bananas is right. Jenna, you know, I just, you know, like I said, like Banana said, she's in a position to already go to a final. She's acting like she doesn't want to be there, and all because of Zach. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that, you know, they love each other and everything like that, but it's selfish of Zach to want her to come home and quit what she wants to do. She obviously, you know, wanted to be there and she wants to win. And, you know, it's very selfish of him to do that to her, give her that ultimatum, you know, and everything like that. But that was that. We also see Jenny talking about Dee. She's telling Swaggy, Josh, I think Nani was sitting there too, and everything like that. She was telling them what Dee said and how messed up it was. After that, you know, we see this little exchange between Swaggy and Josh. Josh, I think, feels some type of way because, like I said, he's made up this rivalry in his head with Wes. And you know, he thinks that Swaggy and Bailey are working with Wes. So, you know, they kind of go back and forth and everything like that. And, you know, Bailey comes over, you know, trying to defend her husband and everything like that. And Josh starts yelling and everything like that. So Swaggy gets up and walks away. And Josh decides that he wants to throw a drink while Swaggy is walking away. And Swaggy isn't having it. And he comes back. And security has to break them up. This is ridiculous. And then we see Josh standing on the counter and stuff like that. Like I said, Josh is in nobody's position to try to rally votes against Swaggy and Bailey, and to be acting like this. Like, it's performative antics, you know. It's performative antics, and for what? You know, even like I said, even if Swaggy and Bailey were working with Josh, that doesn't mean I can't have your back too. Like, he's being ridiculous. I think we all know what would have happened if security wasn't there. Swaggy's not scared of Josh. I don't think anybody's scared of Josh. So that was that crazy little moment. It got broken up. I think Swaggy and Bailey went back to the house before everybody. But, you know, and Wes, we see him talking, you know, in the confessional. And he's basically like, you know, I need Swaggy and Bailey to keep a calm head. We can't have situations like this, you know. So that was that. Next, we have the tribunal scene. So once again, the tribunal is Wes, Bailey, Nani, Corey, and Dee. So the girls that they decide to interrogate are Jenny, Melissa, Kayla, and Jenna. Kayla, you know, basically she says that she wants to go in, but she wants to go in against Casey specifically because she already beat Anissa before, and she wants to prove to her, I guess, to herself and to the house that she's a strong competitor. I don't know why she would do that, but hey, I get it. You want to beat the best, okay. Melissa says she would prefer not to go in, but, you know, a lot of people are like, if, you know, they feel like they're not on Melissa's list, like, of people who she would want to, you know, keep safe and everything like that. So, you know, rightfully so, they're a little sketchy about it. You know, they're like, you know, we could keep you safe, but why would we? What are you gonna give us? Jenna, you know, basically Nani, you know, she's in the tribunal, and she says basically, you know, she's not sure if Jenna's head is in it, basically. And Jenna says that she doesn't want to go in. So, you know, I feel like Jenna kind of put Nani in a tough spot. She doesn't want to vote for Jenna, you know, but, you know, if Jenna doesn't want to be here, she doesn't want to be here. Also, we see Jenny. She basically tells the tribunal that, you know, she's not trying to be cocky or anything like that, but if you put her in, her chances of coming back are very, very high. And, you know, she starts rambling about a whole bunch of other stuff, but, you know, it's whatever. And I think the tribunal knows that Jenny would pretty much come back against, well, her and Casey probably would have been a good battle, but she has a very good chance of coming back against Anissa if she was to go in. So, you know, that was that. Next, it's purgatory time. So basically, you know, Anissa and Casey come down, and TJ asks the tribunal who are the people that they are gonna put in, and the people that they pick are Kayla and Jenna. Kayla asked to be there, and Jenna got voted in. You know, it is what it is. Kayla's gonna go against Casey, and Jenna is gonna go against Anissa because Kayla asked for Casey. So first up is Kayla and Casey. So basically, the name of the game is called Bombs Away. So they start off, the competitors, they start off in this bin full of like 100 like bombs and stuff like that, and the bombs are heavy, so they have to unload this bin full of bombs, and then once they get the bin unloaded, they have to race to this thing which detonates, and it's supposed to detonate a bomb, but it detonates, and whoever gets there first wins. So basically, up first is Kayla and Casey. So TJ blows the horn, they get started. There's really not a strategy for a elimination like this. You kind of just have to pace yourself and, you know, just honestly go as fast as you can. I don't think any strategy really works here, but basically TJ blows the horn, they get to going, they're emptying. I will say that I'm actually kind of shocked that Kayla, not that I think Kayla's weak, but, you know, Casey is a football player. Like, Casey literally plays football. She's in great shape. So the fact that Kayla is keeping up with Casey and everything like that is actually pretty impressive. And they're keeping up with each other for a good minute. But I think Casey paced herself a little bit more than Kayla did because the bombs are heavy. You know, both of them said that the bombs are heavy. But I think Casey paced herself a little bit more. And she ultimately is the first one to unload the bin. She races to the detonator and the bomb detonates and she wins the first round. Like I said, Kayla did a good job, but I just think that Casey paced herself better and she's just a little bit stronger than Kayla. Next up, we have Jenna versus Anissa. And so basically TJ blows the horn once again, they get started. Once again, there's no really good strategy for an elimination like this, so both of them are just trying to pace themselves the best they can. We've seen Jenna, you know, do really good. You know, she beat Tori, and Jenna's a good competitor. So I didn't know who was gonna win this right off the bat. I didn't think there was a clear winner. Anissa, you know, she actually is doing well as well. So they're both pacing themselves, they're both going, but somehow near the end, Anissa, I guess, you know, a fire is lit inside of her and she unloads that bin, she gets all the bombs out, she races to the detonator and the bomb goes off and Anissa wins. So both Anissa and Casey now have red skulls, and Kayla and Jenna, unfortunately, they have to go home. I do think it's interesting that everybody so far this season, everybody who's volunteered to go into elimination has won. Rogan went in against Jay. I still think he was wrong for what he did to Jay, but he went in against Jay and he won that elimination. We just saw Anissa and Casey, they volunteered to go in, and everybody who's volunteered to go in has won. So I think that's like a pretty cool fun fact about the season. But other than that, that's the end of the episode. TJ says there's not a lot of opportunities to get red skulls, so people need to start stepping up, digging deeper, because they're halfway through the season and it's almost to the end. But basically that's it for this episode, for this video. If you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back next week with another recap. Until next time, peace out.